I am the Marquis de Sade. Justine, she told me, please don't hurt me. Please, 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 bad bitch. Bad me. Don't hurt me, please. Don't beat me anymore, please, please. Pain. I love pain. I thrive on it. Pain! Be like a fucking animal.
You don't give one bit fuck for me. You never did, you fucking pig cunt. Can I just say this? You're gonna pull this trigger and blow your own fucking brains out.
You're gonna regret that, Ruby, because I'm gonna be delivered.
Lady Mana, put your tail, delicately smashes the cage and settles yourself. And you castrated him and ripped out his heart and slapped him in the face with spikes.
I also hacked him into 5 pieces. By then he was already dead.
Take me again, and again, and again, and again. Go on,
Filthy whore. You won't starve to death. I'll rip you to death first.
I'll pull your eyes out of your head. Let me guide you up.
You want pain? Say, I want pain.
No! Don't hurt me!
I'm fucking kill you! You don't come back to me! You don't say anything to me!
Death Metal Podcast. What's up? This is the Halloween Horror Edition for 2000. Tonight, I wasn't gonna, I was like, should I do this? I know I announced it last night, so represent, you know what I mean? I have to follow through on my promises. So the reason I wouldn't do it is because I don't feel prepared. So that's probably like the main thing. Like I want to make the show prepared. You know what I mean? Like correct, good music, good tunes, visually gory. I mean, if this is my horror show, it gotta come, kind of deceased. Like it has to be dead in the package. This is Death Metal Podcast. Episode 167 or some crazy number. Appreciate the support all day from the cool people in the chat and the cool stuff you guys talk about. Like I told and been telling for like whatever many episodes, you guys are part of the show, you know what I'm saying? Because like for me alone on here, I could just talk about, I don't know, just hold up, demos and be like, this is the new demo I got, and it has 6 songs on it, da da da. But in reality, I pay attention to the chat, and then I come with what I listen to, or what I want to listen to even. Like the Taxidermia that we listened to last night that everyone liked. That was the first time I really listened to it too. So like, this just becomes a death metal listening party for all of us, And then, if I could abridge some of the stuff, you know what I mean, that's garbage, or you like this style, I like that style. I play, various stuff, black metal, death metal. So I try to encompass a lot of love in here. The DMP family. And I want, drink your fucking beers, do whatever the fuck's up, man, Yeah. Dr. Shrinker shirt? Yeah, thank you, man. I put it on. I was upstairs getting a coffee, and I was like, damn, I'm late. And then I was like, what's the most horrific death metal shirt I could wear, Chunk blower. Smoke weed. Yep, 4 Locos. All right. Good. That's how we like it here, bro. Yeah, man. It's legal. It's legal now. For a long time, not, illegal. Thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm a little, this is a little slipshod. Sometimes I do a slipshod DMP. I did one yesterday, so, you gotta understand that, trying to make moonshine, damn. You have to understand that, trying to do, a full show and make it up on the spot in, a very post-bonfire, 4 beers deep. All right. Fuck yes, dude. So we'll take it into the fucking horror zone for you, bro.
まあまあ、7人揃って可愛いこと。
All right, too. Also, I wanted to make a announcement and a warning. This show could be shut off at any time, basically. I forgot to mention that as soon as I started, because that's the way this is for the horror editions of this. Because the brutality that I play on here, or the music or the trailers, I'm not really sure. The algorithm plays with your mind on YouTube, so like there might be blackouts. I'm just letting you guys know right now. You know, if you see the screen black out, it just means it could mean a timeout. But that's why I said this is probably a one-time shot. But sometimes it sticks. I don't know. Hail, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, man. Acid Trip Cinematography, definitely. I guess this was the original Japanese name, Hausa? That's cool, man. That's good that you know that. What's up, Metal Ben? Fuck yeah, dude. I like your metal talks. Your Metal Ben panels are kind of cool, you know? You got a voice like it's been rubbed through gravel. I like that. So up next, this is the horror death metal edition of Death Metal Podcast, October. Now, we did a series of these, and then like 2 were banned, and then maybe like 3 stuck. So if anyone's interested, there's a lot of good content. This was yesterday's episode, sorry. Evoking, Disma, Witch Vomit, and Phobophilic. Definitely check it out if you didn't. But this was we have former episodes of these like gore horror ones that did stick, I think. There's this one. This was the moving towards Halloween. So I did it like around now, you know what I'm saying? Like last year, you know? I was trying to move towards Halloween, like, you know, every couple days or every day. I was like, Halloween. Hell Ride Towards Halloween, the Midnight Edition. Death Metal Podcast, 10/28/23. So last year on the 28th. Today's the 19th, so I started early. And this was the apocalypse now of the end of that. This was Halloween night. I did a Death Metal Podcast. So tune in, if not tune in, but like you could watch the replay if you didn't see it, you know? And I went, you know, I think they stuck because I wouldn't show the things on here. I searched horror, and then those were the ones that came up. So those are the ones, I guess, that lived. If you guys want to support Necroharmonic, we have a lot of horror flags. So if anyone's interested, you know, we carry these they're like massive. They're like 5 feet tall. You know what I mean? And like they're pretty, you know, brutal and for your apartment or your whatever, you know what I mean? Your jam space. So, and you know, with the most obscure Thai and German posters and, you know, like the most vile stuff there was. So if you guys want to support, buy some flags. They're really nice. They're at necroharmonic.com. And if anyone has any one of our metal flags, you would know that some of them are ridiculous. You got Undergang and Malignant Altar flags. Cool, man. You hang them up and shit. I caught the replay on Evokin set was so sick. It was, dude. That Evokin set was. I didn't realize how well taped I was with it. You know what it was? I used that little spinny thing on the iPhone. So like once I hit record, I like used this little thing to just like keep it moving a little bit, you know. And I had my hand pretty far onto the stage as usual. So cool, man. Awesome, dude. What's up, Cam, the medical pathologist? Ordered 3 flags last week. Yep, I think I got 2 of them too, and the flags are on the way. Actually, it's like a once a month thing, kind of, you know. So it's like I call it a pool, you know, the flag pool. And then they're, you know, like most of the time too, if you want, you know, if you want one of these, it's just like it takes a little while to get one because you're like the only person getting it basically. So that's the thing. Like they're one of a kind in a weird way. All right. So up next, I'm not gonna let you guys decide. I was gonna ask, do you want the horror or do you want the death metal? But it's like, like I want to. Yeah, this was a new band, Mask of the Demon, EP. These two releases came from the same label. This is Bava.
Secondogenito dei principi Vaida, come grande inquisitore ti condanno e come fratello ti ripudio. Di molte colpe ti sei macchiata per soddisfare il tuo satanico amore con il servo del demonio, Igor Javutic. Possa il Dio aver pietà della tua anima in quest'ora suprema. Coprite le
Bava. So that's that tape release on what's up, Jim Stanek? Yeah, that was sick, right? Thank you for joining the Death Metal Podcast alumni. What's up, Julian from Genital Deformities? Maybe Jim Stanek has your demo. Yeah, that was good, right? And the band's called Bava, released on Dismal Fate Records. So support the label. You know what? I don't back tag any of the labels. There's no reason for that. I just don't. I'm not looking for accolades. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'm not looking for promos either. Like, I don't want to do the show under the pretense of like getting free shit. Basically, I want to just like do it under the pretense of like, this is what I listen to. or this is what we're gonna listen to. Sometimes, obviously there's a couple songs on here that suck. I mean, not too much. I mean, obviously I keep it pretty curated. And that's why I didn't even want to do tonight's episode, because I'm like, man, I don't know if I could come hard enough on this. But I announced it, so here it is. I mean, I want this to be a celebration for Halloween, and you know what I mean? Halloween is cool, but like I live Halloween every day anyway. So at the same time, I don't really need I don't need a celebration of it. So where the hell is that? There was some specific thing I wanted to play. Okay. So let me shut this for 1 second. So along the journey of listening to watching horror movies, the music, is like really eerie. So, I started to get into like the horror soundtrack thing, probably like in the mid 90s, maybe, and then a lot of that stuff ended up in my fanzine called Flophouse of the Freaks. There was like whole sections written up about like soundtrack LPs and like soundtrack CDs that would come out at that time, which were the early versions of like The Beyond and Zombie, and like, there was no, there was Cinevox Records who would put out like Ennio Morricone, and you could find, mass-produced commercial Dario Argento LPs, and they were cheap too. I mean, they weren't that cheap because they were Cinevox, so they were like $20, pretty cheap. I was pretty early on the soundtrack scene before like the big companies swooped in and made a soundtrack and all this crazy packaging and $40 records and shit. So like, what do you call it? My early zine, I used to cover like soundtrack stuff. And sometimes we would cover like a horror soundtrack cover band. And that's what we're going to show right now. And I wrote to them too after I had heard them. And then the guy from the band sent me a free double LP from Sweden, which I thought was the coolest thing ever, man. So I'm still into this band. I don't know what they did. They had other prog-ish type bands. But they did a cover. I think this is done on a boat too, man. Really good stuff. Check it out.
And for all of those here tonight who just can't get enough, please, one more time for the world and for Hioma. Emma Nordenstam. A big applause.
All right, so that was yeah, a soundtrack cover of a Rosemary's Baby lullaby. So yeah, it was more sinister, of course, man. That's why I'm playing it on here. Like I said, death metal podcast. I want to support Morte Macabre too, man. Come back, you know. Like right now, we need you back, man. Like we got Fabio back. It would be dope to see some Morte Macabre shows. If I could find the guy, I would reach out and say, we played you on Death Metal Podcast. Please reform. I've seen crazier things happen. So I wanted to also talk about horror. So I'm a student of the game, man. Just so you guys know. Like, I am a student of the game, man. Especially when it comes to the most bizarre, freakish, gory, worldwide, international death metal horror stuff. It's so horrific. It's death metal to me, you know. So I brought out a couple just sample pieces right here, and I just literally just reached from my bookshelf, but I have hundreds of books on this stuff. But check it out, man. So I used to collect these old horror books and magazines. They were made in the UK, France, Italy, and some in the US too. So you're gonna see some cool stuff here. So this one was a UK one, Flesh and Blood. The guys that made these were cool too, man, because I would try to talk to these guys. Uncut, because they would be at the New Jersey horror conventions. Edward Fenwich in there. I gotta leave him up for a second because I know everything on here lags. I notice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. I'm real. You know what? The thing is, I'm real into it. So that's why no fakes on here, man. I want to, show and prove, because not because of anything, just because this is it, man. This is what I fuck with. You know what I mean? Is It Uncut magazine? This one was phenomenal, man. They would have if you look down here, it would talk about all these really cool movies with black and white stills of the movies, and this is some deep shit. You want to get into horror movies, man, and you want to know shit? I wanted to know everything that I could about the most berserk movies there is, man. So I took it deep, man. You know what I mean? And I feel like I should be doing another whole horror fucking death metal, like a horror fucking cast. So yeah, we'll show multiples here. Uncut was one. Let's see. Let's try to get past Uncut. There's so many. I thought I grabbed other shit. I'll show you guys after the fucking break, man. This was just one mag. They had so many issues, and the shit was grindhouse as fuck, man. I mean, everything in here was fucking you know what I mean? The love letters of a Portuguese nun, man. You know what I'm saying? How much more fucking grindcore can you get? I only knew Fangoria, exactly. So, I took it deeper because at some little point, too, everyone talks about this. They say, death metal got a little stale. So, from, say, 94, 93 to, I was early stalemate. Other people said they got stale in 95. I thought it had been stale at, 92, 93. So I started listening to more grindcore. And then I started getting really into horror movies and stuff because I thought that was the shit. You know what I mean? I wanted to expand my horizons onto books and hardcore, harder grindcore and harder death metal. Whatever was hard at this time that stayed hard, I fucked with. But you know what I mean? And then there was there was horror conventions by me, Chiller Theater. And then they had a Fangoria one too, or multiple. So I would go to those, and the thing is, talk to the dealers too, man. I would talk to them about their magazines, and you know what I mean. Ask crazy ass questions and shit. Yeah, it was the 90s, and then after it hit the peak of it, hit maybe 99 for me, and I think after that I started to trail down. I might have went. I I might have, like sometimes I would hang out with Mortician Will. So like, Will would always have like a Halloween horror party at the horror convention, which was dope, So sometimes, you find yourself partying with like Reggie Bannister and shit. You're like, oh shit, like pretty dope. All right, let's play some horror trailers.
Meet Mommy and Daddy.
I told you. I won't tell anyone that you're a father.
Everything's ready.
Mommy's little darling is becoming Mommy's little mutant terror. The Suckling.
What is going on?
We're locked in.
Yes, trapped in a bordello, Mommy and Daddy must try and survive their wayward offspring.
What happened to her?
I mean to get out of here alive.
The Suckling.
What the hell is this?
If you're looking for nail-biting action and suspense, see The Suckling. The Suckling.
You almost gotta laugh. You know what? Like, you almost gotta laugh at some of these because they're so fucking, like, delirious. Pretty gory stuff. Shout out to Erica, who asked me for a custom Suckling flag. So I hope that adorns your wall right now, She knows the real deal, Yeah, exactly. The Suckling. The fucking thing, a monster. And then, alright, so let's go back to our music. Here we go. This is a sick one. If this is disturbing, man, remember.
And the whole devil fucking stuff I will
All right, we're back with the Suckling. All right, Death Metal Podcast. That was a great video. That definitely, dude. All right, yes, have some pizza because the Suckling will come and eat it. All right, tonight, this is our horror Halloween-ish whatever edition. We should be having a future edition which will represent death and black metal and our horror, like, you know, like some horrors, like a collector's edition, kind of like the ones with John Grave, where we bring out like collector horror stuff, and that'll be with Mental Bill from Mental Funeral Zine. It's either next Friday or Saturday. I don't remember the date. Ripping Decay. All right. Man, Neil is a good songwriter and puts out sick shit. I've been to this place.
The mansion at Longbranch is a living, breathing nightmare of more than 30 incredible rooms, each with its own very special surprise. Wander through its myriad of secret passageways and winding labyrinths. Discover the graveyard of the living dead and its unimagined terror. There's Renfield and his spiders, the Prince of Darkness, Count Dracula, and many more. At the haunted mansion at Longbranch, it's waiting for you.
All right, so I've been to this place. I've been to the haunted mansion in Longbranch. It burnt down, actually. It was there for like a year or two. So I'm going to show it again, man. The haunted mansion. They had the room with the friggin'... It had rat sounds. And then, like, you felt your, like, legs with, like... It felt like tails were hitting your legs. That I remember. And there was a huge pendulum in the middle. Cutting a body up.
The haunted mansion at Longbranch is a living, breathing nightmare of more than 30 incredible rooms, each with its own very special surprise. Wander through its myriad of secret passageways and winding labyrinths. Discover the graveyard of the living dead and its unimagined terror. There's Renfield and his spiders, the Prince of Darkness, Count Dracula, and many more. At the haunted mansion at Longbranch, it's waiting for you.
Never forget, man. The haunted mansion. Things got to be cult like that, you know? It was cool to go to the old school. You got to be crazy to go to that. That's what we thought when we were younger, but I mean, it was pretty tame. The craziest one I've ever been to was in Canada, actually. And it was due to darkness, basically. Like, there was a spot in the fucking mansion, or whatever the fuck it was. That's just a Facebook thing. All right, I'm being Facebook blocked for content, it says, which has something to do with Paineater or this entire video. All good. Like I said, this stream could disappear, just so you guys know. Maybe it's still live on YouTube. You guys still live in the chat? That's how it goes here. We got to come with the grindhouse, and if you have to come this hard, you know, and you show an uncut, you know what I mean? Like, you're on your next level. All right, cool. We're good? We live? Good. All right, thank you. So let's see what we got here. What's up, lurkers? I like it, though. I mean, you guys don't have to say anything to watch the show if you watch it on your fucking couch, whatever, man. Like, I watch people's fucking live casts on my couch. And it could maybe make a comment, maybe not. Norath has a sick gore video. Okay, that's good to know. Facebook, yeah, Facebook. It just showed Paineater in the scribe, so like it was probably one of those samples from the Paineater demo in the beginning. I think I scrolled past those a previous time I played that because I was like, there's got to be something in here that's like, I don't know. That's really like bad, you know, like from a really bad movie. So like, it's Paineater, dude. I mean, they were the worst, you know, the most brutal fucking, yeah, a good haunted house. That's what I'm saying. Me too. Like, you know, and I've been to the one in Salem. It was whack. So I've been to Salem, Massachusetts, haunted house. You know, you would think Salem, Massachusetts, you know, home of the Satanic Church. Now they need a better haunted mansion. They don't want to play up the horrific shit up there, though. They want to play up the witchery. That's how it is there. It was surprising to see, actually, they had moved the Satanism into the zone, because years ago they were like against that shit. But eventually, you know, like, how was Salem in October? It's crazy, man. I went there I might have went there on Halloween. I can't remember. I've been there like 4 times, so like, I went there on the Halloween weekend, I'll tell you that. Roy, I have also been to the Haunted Mansion in Canada, and you walk through the store, and it's a department store, and it's completely normal and freaky. Oh, that's sick. I just remember getting lost in there, right? Like, and the lights were out. I think the lights were just out in that section. But I was crawling against the wall. I was like, where the fuck am I? And I felt like I was in there. Salem is touristy? Yeah, man, pretty touristy, but I mean, it's Salem, Massachusetts. If you really want to know the history of Salem, Massachusetts, go there when it's not Halloween. And then you know what I mean? You can take in the history of the witch trials and the witch museums and everything. Which, that's what it's all about. I mean, like, why are you even there? I mean, it's chaotic. Yeah, I feel bad for people that live there. Oh, shit. That's cool, man. Good story. Thank you, Aaron, for contributing to the chat. You've been to the Haunted Mansion in Canada. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for contributing to Death Metal Podcast. That's what I'm saying. We want this to be, you know, like, I want to come with the Grindhouse, man. The most obscure stuff there is. This guy was a favorite of mine. His name is Umberto Lenzi. He made a bunch of really sleazy movies, including crime ones and horror.
Negli ultimi anni, degli anni 70.
Sì. Non è da meravigliarsi poi che ci sia qualche azione di violenza ambientata fra le tribù selvagge. Principalmente io ho voluto dimostrare che questa violenza, cioè sulle persone, anche quando non si tratta solo di violenza sessuale, ma di violenza proprio di uccisioni, mutilazioni, è determinata soprattutto da una lunga storia di politica, di occupazione del terzo mondo, di sfruttamento delle tribù, dei selvaggi, come si evince in modo assoluto dalla storia, dal plot del film Cannibal Ferox. Cannibal Ferox è una storia in cui alcuni bianchi drogati, cattivi, estremamente spregiudicati, approfittano dell'ingenuità, del fatto che queste tribù all'interno dell'Amazzonia sono indifese, sono costituite da gente primitiva, incapace di difendersi, per sfruttarli, per opprimerli, addirittura per perseguitarli in modo disumano. Ovviamente c'è una ritorsione, c'è un contraccolpo, c'è una reazione e quindi i selvaggi poi diventano, la loro furia primitiva si scatena come vendetta e quindi poi fanno quello che fanno.
È in scena di morte di Mimi Lai, sì, l'attrice burmese, ma un film negli anni precedenti che si chiama Ultimo Mondo Cannibale, lo stesso scene ha fatto un'apparizione in questo film. Tu hai girato il tuo stesso versione della morte di Mimilei? O...
No, sarebbe troppo lungo a spiegare. La morte di Mimilei io l'ho girata, soltanto c'era una brevissima inquadratura del corpo che viene bruciato, della testa che viene bruciata, siccome esisteva in un film precedente prodotto da un mio caro amico, e quindi mi sono fatto dare il pezzo e l'ho inserito nel film. Ma si tratta di una scena che dura 1,5 metri, non di più, 1,5 metri, cioè una frazione di secondo, si vede questa testa che brucia e basta. Tutto questo che riguarda Mimilei e questo che riguarda i cannibali, i film di cannibali, viene soltanto dal mio film, tengo a precisarlo, anche se io l'ho dichiarato sempre nelle interviste, viene dal mio film The Man from the Deep River. Tutto il resto che ha fatto, i film dopo che ha fatto un mio collega, è perché io ho rifiutato di farli. Perché ho rifiutato di farli.
All right, the revelations of Umberto Lenzi. So, who was the director of many good horror movies, as well as crime movies. So don't count him out. He was actually, in my opinion, the best Italian crime director. One of the best. Amongst, or the best, in my opinion, because he practically invented the genre, I think. I could be wrong about that, because he was a plagiarist, but Lenzi was, in my opinion, unsung. Like you have Dario Argento, you have Fulci, but like you don't hear the word Lenzi. You should, because obviously he was a maestro of horror movies, so it was really good. So he did The Man from Deep River as far back as like 72, which was like a cannibal fucking movie. And it's tasteful too. I mean, it's not ridiculously gory or anything, but I don't know what. Yeah, Fernando De Leo. Yeah, he was another crime fucking. For real. That's my other fave. So yeah, let's go back also to the other, like I said, this was a good one from the UK. Necronomicon zine. Had good bands. I always say bands versus like movies on the movie ones. Greets from Germany. What's up, Death Row? I like the band, Death Row. Fuck yeah, Lenzi rules, dude. Thank you for commenting. So this was had Barren Blood, Tenebrae, Cicilina. And these were various different ones, Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. Special Richard Stanley. This was a UK zine. Schramm, Argento. This was another important one too. Delirium. This was done like year-to-year editions, like 82 in this one, I believe. I think that's how they did it. No, maybe not. But yeah, this one was 1980, issue 3, with the cannibal zombie Holocaust close up on the front. And to take a peer into here, just like we did the other zines, like these were really well-written horror fanzines. So, like they were super expensive, but they were well-detailed, and like if you wanted to school yourself on some sick horror stuff, this was your place, So, like I went really deep into, these type of collectible shits. Italian horror, 81. 81. European trash cinema. Amazing. Even, you could pick these up on eBay even for like $10 each. Amazing reads. The best underground, like, what is it? The best. Rest in peace, Craig Leadbeater. Because basically, I remember writing for this, like I would write for a death metal demo, and like to me that was more occult and cool. It was the info the guy gave, not so much the pictures, and the writing skills were like ridiculous. Klaus Kinski interviews or like retrospectives in there. You gotta fuck with Klaus Kinski, He's a creep, but you love Italian horror, so do I. I mean, I like international horror. I like the Italian stuff, the Spanish stuff, U.S., everything. Klaus Kinski. I hope you guys get, just a small learning piece from this. If there's any, anyone like in the horror zone watching this. I'm sure some of you know. If you don't, look for it. I mean, eBay, $20. Rats Nights of Terror for Euro. What's up, Melanie? Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to show this piece. I'm going to show like more towards the end of this, and hopefully like we could play it again. Like, you know, just as a disclaimer, like I don't know what shuts the stream off, but this was the unreleased Van Beber stuff that I was playing in one of the other ones. I don't think I ever played the end though. So we're going to put the end part. Shout out to Florida. As you can see, Stephen Brio from the Unearthed DVD company, he was in that movie. He's in the beginning of it. So I don't know if they ever released that. Jim was very particular about his things. I don't think that even was supposed to be out there actually, but that was the end sector. I don't know if I ever played that on here. I figure if the stream would get banned, we let it go. You know, might as well let a little piece. Gator Green was never completed. No, it wasn't. It was like a crowd-funded like horror movie. It should have been completed, right? Well, there was like 3 to 4 scenes that they showed in the trailer of what it would be, you know? And it was, I mean, it was some next level shit. I wish that it did get its funding. Thank you. Appreciate it. Try to bring something like underground to this at least, you know? That's the thing. Yeah, definitely. These were great movies. So, you know, like I want, you know, like that's what that's what Halloween to me is about too, like horror movies. You know what I mean? Because when I was growing up, they showed horror movies at Halloween time, you know? And the video store pumped them up, TV pumped them up, the movie theaters pumped them up. So like you always equate like, you know, October with like horror movies. I eventually, you know, if you're into horror movies, which, you know, like I could say my tastes waned from horror movies a little, like as time went on, and more into like serious like giallo and like kind of more plot driven murder stuff movies. But I mean, I was watching uncut, you know, Jim Van Beber, you know, like fucking cuts, you know, like through VHS trading shit before it came out with like DVDs even, you know? Pieces, fuck yes. How you doing, Susan Amador? Susanna Amador? I missed the video stores, brother. I hear you, man. I mean, they were cool. You just go in there and like look around on the shelves and stuff. Even if you didn't get the movie, like you could still like get a visual experience going in there, you know? Picked up an interesting Aussie movie called Turkey Shoot. I know that. Yeah, I've seen that. There was in the underground tape VHS like lists, let's call it. Turkey shoot. I worked at a video store. Awesome. I spent a lot of time in the video store. Yes, Susanna Amador, one of my favorites. Got the poster here in my room. Find some off-the-wall horror. Yeah, all judged on like the cover of the box, right, and whatever it said on the back part. So, hopefully, I saw yesterday The Substance, and I really enjoyed it. I hear a lot of good words about that one. I don't watch many modernistic horror movies. I should. You have to choose your battles, I guess, in life with time. Right, I was just laughing to myself. I'm like, I can't believe we're just sitting here listening to these soundtracks. It's cool, man. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, because I am. Some of the alt titles are better than the real thing, like Dr. Butcher, MD, for Zombie Holocaust. Yeah, I prefer a Zombie Holocaust. Obviously, the movie seems more zombie-ish. I knew something about that movie because the guy I worked with, like, he did the transcribing for the US version. Showed me the script, man. It was cool. I was like, he worked for Terry Levine. If you see in the beginning credits on the movie, Terry Levine for the US edition, Dr. Butcher. I guess they had taken like 2 movies and like spliced them together and made Dr. Butcher MD or whatever. But yeah, the guy I worked with, like at Universal Studios, had like a side biz, which he just happened to leave some boxes at work one day from his side biz, and he showed me a bunch of fucking scripts of Terry Levine. And then I got on the phone with Terry Levine, actually. We were talking about like PAL monitors or whatever. Because basically at that time I was so deep in the horror scene, I wanted to have a PAL system as well. Like I wanted a PAL fucking VHS player, and I was about to buy one, and they're like, hey, and then Terry Levine told me that I had to have a PAL fucking, what do you call it, player. There's a Terry Levine documentary coming out. I would like to watch that. I think Fulci's movies got recorded, aka titles. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the German title, and yeah. So definitely cool, man. Those were cool people, and so this episode, I think we're encompassing like everything I would want to encompass. So we played horror soundtrack music, trailers, death metal stuff. I showed some stuff, you know what I mean, like of like the unholy grindhouse of underneath, why I would even do an episode like this, because if I'm gonna do this, I want to be able to be the one to talk on it, like I think a lot of, you see YouTube stuff, it's pretty fake, Start doing unrecorded interviews. Does that mean offline? Beast and Heat was a splice of 2 movies too. Yeah, that was a bug, that one. Roy Fumes shot footage with the wraparound use of Dr. Butcher, MD, and Zombie Holocaust. Okay. Yeah, I remember reading about some of these things, but the thing is, like after going through and reading all those zines, or even reading books like this back in the day, which was like a newsstand thing, Video Watchdog, you could learn so much like cool little tidbits about like bizarre movies. Tim Lucas, the Video Watchdog, and his wife did this fanzine book thing. Like, it was on the newsstands, and they would have like underground different stuff. It was good. This was a cool UK one I didn't show. A lot of mini zines came out, so like Tim probably cornered the start of the market on this. But then, people would put out their own, like, mini zines. This one was from the UK, Attack of the Scissor People. It's pretty rare, actually. February 98. It's as dated as the time I bought it and was, looking at this type of stuff. Look, there's barely any pictures. I wasn't even interested in the pictures. I was interested in the friggin' meat of what was being talked about. Either the Euro crime movies, or fucking, you know what I mean? Like all the, just the underground facts of whatever was going on, man. You learn from, this was like TV Guide for like maniacs, Video Watchdog. You can get these cheap probably on eBay. I don't know, if you like to read or learn about weird movies versus, just listening to music. All right, so this show wouldn't be complete without this band being played either. So, in Potato.
Oh, where's his head? He is God!
And believe me,
That's my podcast, Impetigo. Big box set coming out of Impetigo stuff. I saw. I was gonna let a second song play, so if I seem discombobulated. So yeah, man. I wanted to also talk just quickly on the journey through the horror stuff. After like kind of messing with horror, eventually I got more into like crime and spaghetti westerns, which were like, just different movies. Nowadays, I'm, probably more into like a YouTube documentary. But spaghetti westerns, man. Mario Mersley. He did a lot of good horror crime movies. He died on the tennis court, unfortunately, at a young age. He was driving around a Ferrari and smashing people's heads in videos. So I hope you guys, like I said earlier, like we're trying to encompass like, horror soundtracks, trailers, Halloween stuff, man. But, I figure I bring in a little bit of the collectibles to talk about stuff, Hopefully you guys are cool with that. I just, like we can talk about it in the chat and stuff. Exactly. The Great Silence. The Metal George, you came from the, what do you call it? Burn party in the backyard to the grindhouse of fucking death, man. That's kind of cool. Fuck yeah, all the Django's. The Django Kill, probably my favorite, the original. Not the, I think they renamed the other one to Django Kill as well. Django Kill or whatever. The, El Topo, yeah. All that guy's movies were crazy. It's cool that, they were like, yeah, like Santa Sangria. Those, all those things were like kind of like tape traded before they were like kind of like mass produced. So it was kind of cool. You would have to like kind of look for them. And if you got a copy of it, it was pretty shady. I kept everything I had on my old VHSs because like, what are you going to do with them? Like no one wants them. Maybe when I die, they'll just strap me to a toilet and just let me watch them for the rest of my death. So up next, let's see what else we got here. We played horror soundtrack music from 555. We played that trailer from The House from 77. The Dripping Decay video, Umberto Lenzi, the Morte Macabre. So if anyone didn't get to check out everything, go back to the beginning, because tomorrow or whatever, because we played live Morte Macabre doing a cover of Rosemary's Baby. Metal Podcast. So yeah, another Dismal Fate release. Mortuary Ghoul, definitely with the horrific Norman thing. We're not sponsored either by any of these labels, just so you know. Like, I'm only playing them because it's fucking death metal. What's up, Cardiac Arrest? We played you on one of our earlier episodes of the horror extravaganzas back in the day. One of these ones. Midnight Edition, moving towards Halloween. This was the actual Halloween night one. Or this one. I saw Cardiac Arrest in the lists today because I was looking back to try to not do doubles. But this is our new, obviously, episode, trying to be brutal as fuck, man, you know? Hopefully you guys like. I didn't want to do it, man, as usual. Sometimes they're just like, I'm like, oh man, I'm unprepared. I can't talk about this shit. But, you know what I mean? Like, our, you know, like video-wise or whatever the fuck, you know? But I guess I'm semi-prepared. You know, like, I came on here to play death metal and to talk about horror. So I think I already accomplished both goals. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro. You guys are sick live. If anyone ever wants to check out Cardiac Arrest live, definitely where I feel they're at their best. So let's see here. Where else do we need to go? How about this crazy trail?
Happy Halloween, Tommy.
Something for me? 'Cause I'm special?
Yes, Tommy.
Trick or treat, give me all your candy or I'll blow your head off.
Roger, would you learn how to talk nicely to your sister?
Bing, bing, you're dead.
Oh, Tommy, we have to wash that.
But Mom, I like the taste of blood. Grandpa says it's good for me.
Grandpa? When did you see Grandpa, Tommy? Did he give you that pumpkin?
Don't worry about it.
The hour of Satan has arrived.
All right, that's a good one for Halloween, right? Hack-O-Lantern. Was the music docking? That was bad. So that was the movie Hack-O-Lantern. For some reason, that VHS took like an explosion on eBay at some point. It was worth like $10,000 or some shit. I don't know, like $1,000 something dollars or some crazy shit. Because it's, you know, like some of these things were probably like hand dubbed or something, you know, and there's like 2 made. So tonight, you know, like trying to mix it up between music and movie stuff. You know, for horrific Halloween. This one's going out to Susanna. shout out to Crapsy Maniac, Aaron. So fucking brutal dude, man. Total death. This has been our horror fucking edition of Death Metal Podcast. Hope you guys are enjoying tonight. I try to cover what I think is the most brutal, so that way hypothetically, if this stream disappears, you guys at least got to watch it, And thank you for the cool request. Cropsy Maniac do rule, man. They're one of the horror maniacs. I remember my brother there sending me just like we did a cover of Hilltop Maniac, like one of the songs from in there, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put on Hilltop Maniac and watch that, like, so that was cool, like, you know what I mean, like, it's nice to be inspired by other like horror freaks, because I was like, I never watched that one. Gotta fuck with it, So let's see, what else is in chamber? Somebody sent me this as a request. The Kolobos. I'm sorry if I don't know who it was, but someone on IG, I had put out a video there that said like, hey, does anybody want to send something that is a crazy video that's like not Cannibal Holocaust? You know what I mean? Like a crazy horror movie. And there was this sent to me. There was actually a Jeff Chapman sent me a video too. I gotta download it though.
Do you know where you are?
This is a dangerous person.
You're safe. You were badly hurt. We were hoping that you'd be able to give us some information.
Artist seeks 5 progressive-minded individuals for groundbreaking experimental film.
They thought they'd be stars. They thought they'd have the time of their lives. They thought they knew each other.
I hear you're an artist.
Says who?
They thought wrong.
This can't be happening. Why did you kill me? We can't just leave her like this.
Killed him.
When you're dead, no one can hear you scream.
Right, pretty sick, right? So yeah, Tubby TV. Fuck yeah. So let's see what we got a video here. Submission. Which we like these. I like these. This is from one of our #1 death metal podcasts, Maniacs, in the chat. He said he's kind of watching from afar, drinking with his boys, but he sent me this video.
But man, I got some fucking horrors to show you. Got Grapes of Death. Trying to find some more kind of obscure ones. The last house on the beach. Not super obscure, but classic Maniac. This one you should definitely check out. Next to Kin. That rules. It's an Aussie one. I think it's 1982. What else we got here? Return of the Living Dead 5. That's pretty obscure. Another classic. They call this like the German Evil Dead. That's what we got here. Shock and Dark. Here's another obscure one. It's fucking Kevin Costner is in this. Don't let that put you off it. It's pretty cool. The Shadows Run Black is a pretty decent slasher. I could go on forever, but I'll quickly show you some of my vinyls here. So I've got, this is a special edition of Halloween. So, yeah. Demons, limited edition. I think there's like about 500 copies. You can take the mask off and wear it. Demons Anniversary Edition. Amityville. You guys will know I like my Jellos and my Italian films. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the one with Donald Sutherland, the only one.
All right, so our Death Metal Podcast listener, one of our best supporters, actually, Jeff Chapman, made that video. He basically made a video showing some obscure horror VHS, and then some obscure horror, like, what do you call it? Soundtrack LPs. So I was very sick. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. You catch it on the playback, exactly. So... So next up, let's see what else we got here. This is one he was holding in his hand. All right, the Grapes of Death. So yeah, it was also AKA Raisins of Death. So that was Gene Rollin. So I'm glad to share these obscure flicks with you people. If you like, I guess look for them. Check. It's cool to connect on here and just talk about these things, right? These seem like death metal subjects to me, you know what I mean? So like weird movies. Seems like they have a lot of the same fans, So like weird movies and weird music, So I try to bring it I mean, I don't need to bring it just close to Halloween, but who started the big creepy dog thing, Argento. I would say that whoever, Stephen King, whoever directed that Stephen King movie, because they wrote Cujo or whatever. But maybe, I don't know though, Dario Argento did always have animals in his films, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, he had a monkey slashing somebody, like, yeah, great chat, exactly. Like, you learn in the chat here, a House on the Edge of the Park, yes. The music of House on the Edge of the Park, that's interesting that you would mention that, because I had talked to David Hess at the horror convention about the music of House on the Edge of the Park at the time, and I was like, hey man, the music in House on the Edge of the Park, man, is really deep, you know? And he's like, I don't know anything about that. And then he's like, yeah, it should come out though. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you know I wrote a song for Elvis? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, that's fucking sick, dude. I'm like, damn, man. I bought a soundtrack CD from him, and I hung out with him and his son, bro. I smoked a joint with his son, actually, in the bathroom at Will's Hotel. And with David Hess, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, it's cool, sick movie. It was a great villain for, like, some of the sleaziest horror movies there was, man. So it's weird when you get to, like, hang out with somebody like that, you know? It wasn't for a million years, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's cool. All right, it looks like I played almost everything here, but we'll find a few more things.
On the ABC News Magazine, 2020 with Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters. Are your kids renting a movie this weekend? Horror films like these are the most popular choice. Graphic orgies of blood and violence.
And they watch 15 murders in an hour and a half.
Children mesmerized.
I like the gore.
But are they harmless?
It's always a female victim, and is generally in a sexual context.
With reports that life may now be imitating art, Bob Brown shows you what the kids are watching. VCR Horrors.
All right, so I'm not going to play the whole thing here, you know? Yeah, man. So what's up, everybody? What's up? Fabio Frizzi made great soundtracks for Fulci. Definitely loved David Hess soundtrack for Last House on the Left. Same here, man. Amazing CD. Amazing music and cool. Alucarda. That's one of my favorites too. I love Alucarda. They had it in the VHS store at our VHS store. It was called Innocence from Hell. But it had Alucarda, the girl, on the front cover. And yeah, like I rented it, like, and I was like, what the fuck is this, man? Good movie. Probably one of the best satanic underground movies there is. I mean, in a weird way, you know, like Alucarda is like the shit. Do you know Razorback? Yeah. The label and the movie, you know? Obviously, I saw the movie box in the store when I was younger. Gotta expand my soundtrack knowledge. It's pretty low. Well, I mean, that's what, I don't know. He didn't give it a name, man. I didn't ask the name because he was putting in the door. Yeah, so much screaming. You know what? You could watch Alucarda when you're like us, you know, like when you watch Alucarda, it almost becomes like a little hysterical and funny, you know? But, you know, like at some points, yeah, Ortolini's soundtrack for Mondo Cane is also superb. It is. I have the record. What do you think of modern horror films? Any still hold up today? I don't know. I didn't watch any. I didn't watch any of the remake anythings. I completely stayed, you know, true to the underground spirit of not getting it, you know, caught up in, you know, the fake remake shit. You know what I mean? By the time they were, you know, the thing is, at some phase in life, like, movies became a remake of remakes, you know? So, like, after you hit a certain stage of movie remakes, movies that aren't remakes look like remakes. And Rob Zombie would be a good example of that. Even his early movies. Or even as far back as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is kind of what Rob Zombie probably copied off of, you know? So like those were like kind of modernistic horror things that like started to become like a remake of a remake. And then after that, like, you know, part of the genre fell apart a little bit after that, in my opinion, you know? I mean, that's why I started to gravitate towards foreign movies more. So, I mean, that's me, though. If you guys like Netflix or you like modernistic flicks, that's cool. I mean, I really did lose the ability, moving away from the city, I lost the ability to go to, like, movie theaters as much. So the movie theaters by me were whack. I wasn't really not into the movie theater thing either. Like, I kind of was more into, like, the stay at home and watch it, because it was more comfortable. They're boring. The thumbnails do not attract me to watch them. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be recommendations, basically. So, you know, you hear recommendations about Terrifier 3 and The Substance and stuff. But, like, some of that stuff, it just goes, like, right over my head, you know? I'm just like, no, I didn't watch part 1. I mean, why would I watch part 3? But it's cool. I mean, if I get to watch it, it would be cool. But I don't really go out of my way to watch it. So many obscure I haven't seen. That's the thing for me. If I do watch something, I usually go, you know, into the chamber of death, you know? Like, I always go one step deeper. You know, I'll give it I mean, I'm willing to give it a chance, but the thing is, like, I don't watch many movies, and when I do, I try to use antiquated equipment, you know? I keep it old school like that, you know? I mean, I don't know why. It's because my position in life put me to do that. I don't know. It's a confusing way to describe it. But yeah, I'm like a person who watches like 70s and 80s like horror movies. Not so much like Netflix, you know what I mean? I mean, I know I've seen a few things there, but then, you know, when you see modernistic versions of The Ring redone over and over and over and over again, you're just like, whoa. Like, I saw the Japanese version of this in 2000 maybe. And now every movie has like a part that looks like this thing, you know? So it's like kind of like, I don't know, it like shatters the horror a little. That was probably the downfall of, like, for me, for the modernistic horror movie shit. So without further ado, I didn't get to play this horror band.
てめえカナとやったのか。
ああ、カナって
とぼけんなよてめえ。
誤解だよ。最近は会ってもないし、その前は俺旅に出てたし。
旅だと。
とにかくそういうことだから。
ふざけんな。
よせ、この前とは違う。
てめえ。
おい、大丈夫か？
泉くん、今校門のところで上条くんたちに聞いて。
大丈夫、なんでもないよ。靴ここに置いとくよ。
そんな嘘だろ。いくらなんでもあれは。心臓。
見ろ、くたばるぞ。やはり犬の内臓や消化器を流用して生きていたんだ。
さっきはよくもやってくれたな。
一度に4人じゃ胃がパンクだな。
4人？
勢い余って2周してしまった。念のため顔を変えておくか。
と勝負しろ。
勘弁してよ。何すんだよ。
どうした？殴り返せないのか？
この間みたいにミギーが本気を出すと大怪我させるかもしれない。
この軟弱野郎が。
やめろ。少しは手加減しろよバカ。
バカ、それは自分よりバカな相手に使うべき言葉だ。
Alright, so that would probably be like the most modern thing that I've watched. It's called Parasite. So if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube. That was showing, you know, it's probably more long-winded, the less violent scenes, and obviously it's Japanese subtitles. I mean, US subtitles on Japanese, which I wish that was my hand. I mean, it was cool. It's cool, like, to, that was probably, like, the newest thing that I had seen, you know? Like, as far as, like, new horror. What I consider, like, horror, you know? Like, I consider that, like, pretty horrific. That guy's like, hey, man, what's going on? So, you know, like, that was pretty horrific anime, you know? The guy's, like, got, like, his fucking, yeah. Do I like West Side Gun? Yeah, I do, actually. How could you tell? Definitely, man. I was just listening to West Side Gun today, and Czarface, and a bunch of that stuff. So my tastes are pretty diverse, you know? Like, I listen to Carnage and Czarface on shuffle. And maybe something like this. That seemed disgusting enough to fit on this horror edition, right? The band is called Morgue Tar, for somebody that asked. So let's see what else. You know, beyond horror, you know what I mean? There's like psychological horror, which would be the spaghetti western of the most vile one.
This film acclaimed by critics as the most violent motion picture ever portrayed on the screen. Cutthroats 9. A notorious gang bent on the slaughter of human souls for a small fortune in gold, and even more precious, their freedom. Ruthless men fighting for their lives. They were desperate criminals, chained together, driven by a vengeful sergeant. They feared nothing. They were destined to die shackled like animals. Cutthroats 9. The story of a young girl trapped amidst the lust and greed of vicious killers. Cutthroats 9. Roy Hill as her lover. Emma Cohen. One girl, 9 men that would stop at nothing to get what they want. Starring Robert Hunter as the vengeful Sergeant Brown. An adventure in violence that will rip your heart out. Cutthroats 9. Violence is their way of life. It's the one movie that you must not see alone. What you see here is only a sample of what is in store for you in Cutthroats 9. For your protection, you will be given a sample of what is in store for you in...
All right. You'll be given protection for Cutthroats 9 with a terror mask upon entrance. So let's take a moment of silence to remember this. So basically, they would hand you a mask at the beginning of the movie in case you wanted to. It was so violent that you had to exit, you know, which is pretty sick. Just like a vomit bag they gave you at Mark of the Devil. So yeah, I mean, definitely Cutthroats 9 if you get to see it. It's a spaghetti western, but it takes place in the snow. You know, it's a pretty sick shit. I brought out a couple other treats too that I thought were psychologically good. I consider them horror in a way, or maybe they're not horror. But the thing is, like, they seem to fit for the horror fan, you know. Bullet for Sandoval, definitely like a good spaghetti western. Check it out. Big recommendation. White Apache. It was like the kid was born as like a white, you know, like his family got killed or something, and he became like the White Apache. Real sick. Here's my favorite. Death Laid an Egg. This obviously you know, Finnish fucking occultist version. But basically, Death Laid an Egg was like a highly, like, I don't know what you would call it, like it's like kind of like an art house film, but like it had to do with like the breeding of chickens with no heads to make more money or some shit. But the thing is, like, it's like a giallo movie, but it's really good. So good plot, sick music, soundtrack, which is jazz actually, but it's really like tight, real like psychologically like fucks your head up. So check it out. It's called Death Laid an Egg. Obviously, I got a cult fucking old school version of it. You know what I mean? I don't think I have the DVD. I might have the DVD. I don't know though. But they made a nice DVD and they made nice Blu-rays of these things eventually. But old school, man. Boarding House. Yeah, I heard a couple people say that in here. Boarding House rules. That tape looks great. Yeah, man. Old school. You know, like I just pulled it from my shelf, you know what I mean? Like, just to show, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the horror edition. And amongst my horror movies were Cutthroats 9, Dupe, you know, Gina La Brigata, Death Laid an Egg, you know what I mean? Which was highly recommended by the guy from European Trash Cinema Zine. So, like, that was where it made me want to see it, basically. So, you know what I mean? It looks like a love story. It's like a three-way triangle of a giallo movie, like a thriller, which is really well shot and well played as far as like the acting and shit. So, you know, like I try to, you know, eventually like certain horror movies are cool, and then certain ones the acting gets really bad. I mean, I like both, but you got to be ready for it, right? Also, amongst the horror soundtrack stuff, you had the Italian crime soundtrack stuff. So let's not count that out. I forgot to play some of that. So you hit it. That was Calibro 9. They played like the jazz soundtracks for the Italian crime films. So that was one of the main themes of like probably like 6 films. You know what I mean? I don't know who the original composer was, but they were a soundtrack cover band that covered like old school 70s crime Polizetti movies. I don't know how you say it exactly. It was lit. It fit in here because it's part of the fucking horror ecosphere, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, crime films are something I like, so I don't know. I felt I could bring in crime and spaghetti western as well into this fucking episode. Because if you don't like it, but you know what I mean? Like, I think it's brutal and it's worth checking out at least. And if who else is going to play it, you know? Yeah, the thing is you have to know the music. If you know the music, you know what I mean, of the cover, you know what I mean? Just like the Rosemary's Baby one we showed earlier, where Morte Macabre, but they're like a straight up, actually both of those bands I believe are straight up soundtrack cover bands. So they cover just soundtrack music, if I'm not mistaken. Morte Macabre being the older one and Calibro 9 a little newer. So yeah, it was exactly, that was part of the car chase like scenes in like the old Italian crime films. They're very good. If you gotta know, I guess you gotta know the film, you know. I mean, I go really down deep rabbit holes when it comes to horror films. We're gonna play a few more, and then I'm gonna be out of here. This was a Pup Avanti, the House of Windows That Laughed.
Sei già stato in chiesa?
Questa mattina.
Allora hai già visto l'affresco?
Sì, perché?
Avrei preferito l'avessi visto con me. Non devi parlarne assolutamente con nessuno. Credo di aver scoperto la storia più allucinante che si possa immaginare. Ecco perché ho fatto in modo che chiamassero te. Se vuoi cominciare a capirci qualcosa, devo portarti in un posto. C'è una casa dalle finestre che ridono.
Le sorelle erano delle gran puttane.
Credo di aver scoperto tutto, qualcosa di orribile. Nella tua stanza. Presto.
Cosa credi che vado in chiesa e vedo un quadro? Mi spavento soltanto perché vedo un quadro in chiesa.
Oggi ha ritratto quella sgualderina mentre crepava.
All right, Papa Avante, the House of Windows That Laughed, which they found an ancient fresco in Italy where it had like a murder scene on it, you know what I mean? So it was a sick movie though. Try to check it out if you can, or maybe Tubby TV or one of these places will show something cool like that. So definitely check it out. It was called the House of Windows That Laughed. Killer show, thank you, appreciate it. I'm trying to bring a cross-section of death metal and horror, and then a little smidgening of the crime, western, and etc. You know what I mean? Because it's all relevant for a film. I guess it's relevant to me. So you know, we got to see Umberto Lenzi interview, Pieces of Gator Green. I showed that Parasite stuff. We heard Tenebro. We saw that Suckling trailer. So you know what I mean? Like, if you go back or you want to watch this or you didn't catch what I played, you know, I'll try to bookmark as much as I can until I get bored of it. So let me see. Appreciate the non-horror stuff too. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just try to put a smidgen in here because, like, I feel like it's a part of the learning curve of post-horror. You know, I fuck with, you know, I fuck with all horror shit, but I guess I haven't messed with so much modern horror stuff because I don't flow with the masses. You know what I mean? Like, if everyone says Terrorizer or Terrifier or whatever, then I know to probably avoid it, you know? I flow with the other side of the other side of things, you know? Like you know, I'll look in one of those fanzines to find like something cool to watch compared to like watching what everyone else is watching, you know? That's me though. I mean, like, watch what's accessible to you, you know? That's the way I look at it. Or you like, you know? I mean, I'm not one to judge anyone's, like, taste. I'm just on here to play some cool stuff and do a horror episode, and I hope everyone enjoys the Death Metal Podcast experience. Here's Homeboy's band, actually, who was in the chat earlier. Cardiac Arrest. DMP, Death Metal Podcast. It's funny that turned into something. So here's the question of the chat, and we're going to talk about, because you guys started answering. Thank you. Appreciate the support, and talking in the chat is what brings the show together, right? So the question at hand, chat, bring some recommendations of horror movies you like. So, and I saw some great ones, and there's some of my favorites are in there too. So I have to say it out loud too, because I don't know who could see the chat talking thing. You know what I mean? So some people listen to this only. So if you have a recommendation and you're listening versus watching, put your recommendation in our chat. Or if you leave comments on our videos, then more fans and friends will start to join us. I noticed the last video or two I left, like, there's no comments. It's just the ones I leave on there for the bookmarks. So, but yet there was another video, maybe like 2 videos ago, where there was comments, like 18 comments on the thing. I was like, we need comments, man. That's what keeps the, I guess because I don't beg for them, you know. But definitely comment on our videos, man. Even if you go around to the old ones and say, I see, what do you call it? I see my brother on here comment all the time that watches old videos of ours. Bob Kelly. Thank you, Ben. When you comment on those old videos, they jump up in the... They jump up the algorithm of our videos. So then more people get to watch Death Metal Podcast. So the question again, chat, put some recommendations of horror films you like. And you guys came with some crazy shit, dude. So appreciate it. Ebola Syndrome. Amazing movie. Love it. I think I watched it on Tubby, which I was amazed by. Terror Vision. Definitely cool. 1980s Motel Hell. Definitely, dude. That was a scary one to me when I got to see that when I was younger. Welcome to Arrowhead Beach, the original Chainsaw Massacre, Maniac, Warlock Moon, 3 on a Meat Hook, all excellent. Ice Cream Man 2. I don't know if that's something. Burial Ground, yes. Peter Bark, man. Peter Bark and his mom. Street Trash, definitely. Pieces. Blood on Satan's Claw, old school. Savage Streets. Sleepaway Camp. Go on the Bus. Go Home in a Box. Yeah, Burial Ground. Best Zombies. Forbidden Zone. I don't think I've seen that one, so that's a good one. This is why we do this too. Horror at Beach Party rules. Sloppy Second song about the movie. Gonna check that one out too. I don't think I've checked that out unless that's a Lindsay one. The Burning. It's totally sick. Weird premise, you know. Grinding. Slaughter High. Necromancy. The Blind Dead. Prometheus, one of my favorite. Island of Death. Yeah, we didn't show the trailer, but I have it. Don't Go in the House. Torso. Deranged. Bundy. Last House on the Dead End Street. Frankenhooker. The Night of the Living Dead 1990s ones. Elmer. Basket Case 1 and 2. The Burning. Fuck yeah. Blood-Sucking Freaks. Fuck yes. Necromantic. Breakfast at the Manchester Morgue. The Untold Story. Toxic Avenger. Cemetery Man. Yeah, man, you guys are picking out amazing stuff. Burnt Offerings. Definitely. Frankenstein's Army. I love the comments, man. The Burning. The Omen. Yeah, The Burning had great atmosphere. Tombs of the Blind Dead. Frankie Winnie. Okay. House by the Cemetery. Salon, 100 Days in Sodom. Everything with soft serve. Everything Fulci. The Beyond, Gates of Hell. Midnight, I Take Your Soul. We can't play that one. That's one of my favorites, too. It cut the stream off that time. Zombie, Night of the Demons. Midnight M. Eat Train. Slumber Party Massacre, for sure. Peter Bark. Shout out to Peter Bark if you're watching this. Giallo in Venice. Cool. I made shirts of that. Zombie 90. Best Trash. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Good one. 90. Zombie again. Let's see what else. Yeah, you haven't seen these? Oh, you are in for a good treat if you have not, because I would definitely check Burial Ground, The Burning, Necromantic. A lot of good ones mentioned here. Strip Nude for Your Killer. So many new horror movies. I gotta watch these. Yeah, and some of these are more available than they used to be. Yeah, it has George from Seinfeld. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. The Burbs. The Omen. Tombs of the Blind Dead. The whole series is good. Poltergeist. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Night of the Demons. Phantasm and Absurd. Absurd, yes. George, what was that guy's name? George Hilton. Or, Driller Killer sucks, but the song is good. Dr. Butcher MD, Bloodsport, yeah, Bio Omega. A lot of good. You got the Death Metal Podcast watchers are maniacs, I see. Brain Dead, Trauma 2017. I saw Trauma, the Argento Trauma. I don't know if I know 2017. So much obscure stuff you could find on YouTube now. Yeah, George Eastman, right. He's on the island, too, with that one thing where he Anthrophagius or whatever. I don't know, Anthropophagus, where he like eats the fucking thing in the hallway. Fucking maniac. Maneater, Erotic Nights of the Living Dead. Some of those movies were really weird, right? Like the one with the you know, like they were like slow moving, but we had a trailer too for Barbed Wire Dolls, but I didn't think that I could play that on here, you know? My Sweet Satan, definitely Jim Bembeber. Pumpkinhead, killer one. You guys come with some crazy stuff, man. You guys know your horror shit, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in to Death Metal Podcast's Horror Edition. So I don't think I need to make a roll call here because basically you guys are roll calling yourselves. Thank you, everybody, for tonight's edition of Death Metal Podcast, because I like to come pretty obscure, and I think that we definitely managed that, so... And then in the end, you guys could watch this back and read some of these titles. And then hopefully the stream lives. I think the shorter I make it, possibly. It depends on which movies I played in trailers, because I played some weird ones. Nightmare of the Damaged Brain, The Mutilator, the P. Diddy documentary. Deadbeat at Dawn. Thank you, man. Thank you for... I didn't even want to do this in a weird way. Because I felt unprepared. But the thing is, the chat has helped me. And then, you know, we talked about and played horror soundtracks. Horrific death metal. We strayed from the genre to what a horror fan might like. You know what I mean? Like a brutal spaghetti western or I don't know, like a thriller that, you know, has some crazy fucking plot. So thank you, man. I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's episode of Death Metal Podcast. When it comes towards Halloween and horror movies, and it kind of gets psyched, you know? I need to sit down and watch a few of these things that you guys talked about. Like, I don't go to the movies, so seeing The Substance, I would probably have to watch it on my couch, obviously. Look out for Mortem Peru. And also, yeah, shout out to Coffin Joe. Rest in peace. Check out the zines, definitely. Yeah, 3 on a meat hook. 3 on a meat shit. Cat in the Brain. Yes, they say that was the most vile Fulci movie. I'm real big on Fulci and Lenzi, obviously. You owe me 5 minutes of uninterrupted eye contact. Thanks, dude. No thanks. 5 for the Apocalypse is a good Lucio Fulci Western, definitely. Stage Fright, yes, indeed. Contraband, yep, definitely. That was a Fulci horror, crime film, but violent as fuck. It's for the death metal fan in us all, right? Hopefully you guys like the stream. You know, I try to come rugged. I don't know if it'll last again, and maybe it will, and then other maniacs get to watch it. And this is an episode of Death Metal Podcast, man. There's nothing much I could really say, dude. Let's go out of here with this rare German cut.
Ich werde sehr traurig sein, denn ich warte schon seit Stunden auf dich. Du bist niemals bei mir angekommen. Du warst eifersüchtig auf mich und Fabian. Bist davongelaufen.
Besser!